Good evening, SpeedGaming 3, and welcome to another race as part of the Link to the Past Randomizer Main Tournament 2021. We are here tonight to look at GFE versus Buane in Game 2 of this second round matchup. My name is Radical Sniper 99, and tonight I'm joined by Tracy. How's it going?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to another good matchup. I believe GFE took game 1 of this series. This is a second round matchup. We have just completed the first round just a few hours ago with us. I'm not going to give the result because some of you maybe want to watch it, but it was a good matchup between Aussie and Hitsi. If you didn't see it, go watch it. And yeah, we're in the second round. So GFE versus Buane.
Yeah, officially now.
And here we go. Buane is the 41st seed. He beat Days Cloud in the first round. GFE, the 56th seed, having beaten TJ Maelstrom in the first round. And just $20 in our first chest. That's not the uncle chest. Well, I guess it kind of is.
It's a chest. I mean, we're getting shortchanged here. You know, we'll see what, just a little bit of money. But let's find out what our weapon is to start. I remember I was calming the game 1 here, and GFE said the one thing he didn't want to see was a sword because Buane is just that strong of an NMG runner, and we're not getting a sword tonight.
Cane of Perna. I'd rather have anything but a Cane of Perna. That's the worst. We do have the guards in the bomb prize pack, so everybody's gonna get bombed. So at least there's that. Cane of Burner is the worst weapon to farm with, but that won't be an issue.
Yeah, that's always your big concern when you get that Cane of Burner. You're like, I can't grind for bombs, and we don't have to worry.
Yeah. The other problem with Cane of Burner is it generally isn't progression. I mean, yeah, you might need it for Spike Cave, but that's about it.
Yeah, that is definitely the major complaint. Every other item you can definitely use for something later down the line.
It's possible that a Cane of Samaria could be in a non-Cane seed. It's possible a Fire Rod could be in a non-Fire Rod seed, but that's pretty rare.
Even in those seeds, those two items always just give themselves so much value.
Yes, they absolutely do. Like Cane of Samaria for Icebreaker. And if you have a choice between going through Ice Palace with a Bombos or a Fire Rod, you usually would rather have a Fire Rod.
Yeah, both of those definitely have uses down the line, even if we can get away without them. Mm-hmm. But we are going through this escape sequence. Not much to say, I guess, at this point, just because unless you've missed a lot of this tournament, you've gotten really used to the hard standard start. So, and this has been relatively a simple start just because of those bombs.
And more bombs. Bombs not an issue today. GFE goes out of his way to grab those, and maybe wouldn't have if he'd known this was a chest with bombs in it, but maybe he would have. We're still early enough in the game that it's really nice to have as many bombs as you can reasonably get without taking up too much time.
Yeah, getting those early 6 on GFE's side and, 4 for Buane, at least going through Escape and Kakariko, you're going to need 4. So you'll take what you can get, and then that also gives you some options for Mini Moldorm, Cave, and maybe even a Gina.
All right, just the small key in Zelda Cell, so the rest of the way, actually, I don't think we've seen the map yet, so we're going to get one map somewhere, and then we'll get a bunch of items, hopefully some good stuff.
You mean a bottle isn't good? And it had a B.
Oh, no, we got the bottle. Bottle's good. The B, less good. But the bottle's good because we can get our friendly sick kid item on our first trip through CAC, and that's always a good thing. Oh, and if it was a golden bee, they can actually turn that in for $100. So we'll see if either of them do that.
Yeah, I don't expect either of our runners to really hold on to a bee. The other, I say that, but I'd almost be half tempted to run down the Mini Moldorm Cave and use that bee to get through the Mini Moldorms.
That's not a bad use of it. Might depend on how much money we get in the first couple of, you know, because sometimes you get a ton of money in like the well and in Blind's Hut. GFE grabbing a pot, hoping to get one more bomb drop. They could use the cane around those snakes, but with the key rat still yet to come, and they won't want to use too much magic there. The snakes having the same price pack as the soldiers, so. And there's a whole cluster of them right here.
We didn't get a map check from either of our runners. We have seen throughout this tournament some runners will go and do it before they even drop in, but we're waiting so far, and $300 out of the Dark Cross, so...
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, we might not see that gold B sale.
It might not. Also, really glad that the bombs were plentiful, because it's always nice to see both runners able to walk out of here, either both with or both without. I mean, you don't really want to see both without, but you'd rather see, you'd rather see either way you want it to be the same, so.
Yeah,
No huge advantage one way.
We've seen some races with the low value or the specialty prize pack that have just been rough for one runner not getting enough drops.
Yep. Didn't really get anything here, but it's always good to know you don't have to come back. Our container's not terrible, though.
Yeah, given that 14 heart max. GFE taking one extra bomb to go through the top door there. That does save a slight amount of time.
Yeah, with that many bombs, not bad. Another heart container at Sanctuary itself. So, Back of Escape, not really giving us much. That was a really quick matchup. I saw pendants on Eastern and Tower of Hera.
Yeah, I thought that was green over on Eastern as well.
I think it was green. I'm not 100% sure. It was definitely red on Hera, and I'm going to say it's a crystal on Desert, but I won't swear to it.
Yeah, that's the farthest one away. Yep, regular crystal at Desert Palace.
Okay.
And we did have a vanilla Sank heart apparently there.
Yeah, well, guess we're going to get 14 hearts, not just 13.
I mean, I'm sure Buane knows to skip Sank heart, right? At his level of
I'm
execution.
sure in his normal NMG run he skips Sank. Actually, I don't know that. I really don't. But Buane, I mean, shouting out Buane for a second. He is one of the top NMG runners. I do believe that NMG tournament is still going with a grand finals coming up soon with him and Eri. If Eri is in chat somewhere, you can confirm this. Or if anybody else knows for sure.
I do believe I saw an announcement about that final coming up because I believe they were also holding another special event or something soon after that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna go into Blind's Hut, and what are we gonna find? 5 items. Heart piece. Bombs. Arrows. Hey, there we go. There's something good. Flippers. That might incentivize them to make sure they get enough money for Zora, but, you know, you still gotta spend 100 at the bottle bender. Okay, that's gonna be enough money.
Yeah, that's a good feeling. I would have been a little scared and worried because we've lost one of the methods to get a Houlihan going.
Yep.
And I haven't, depending on if we get boots or a glove, be kind of tough to make up the money.
Yeah, and flippers really like to show up in low money seeds just to make you farm. But we don't have to worry about that. We got plenty of money. But a whole lot of hearts early on. Pieces and containers.
Speaking of...
There's more. So of those 10 checks, we got flippers. And health.
Yeah, I think, what's that, 3 or 4 containers already? Or have we gotten enough pieces?
I think we've gotten at least one container out of pieces, but yeah. And the chicken hut has for us another bottle. Okay, well, that's 2 bottles. Guess the sick kid will get doubly healthy. But this will be nice because they can do South Shore and then take that into Zora and is completely in logic and do all the flips checks just right away if they want to. More heart pieces. It has definitely been Heart Town today. And money. Yeah, and those flippers are really the only thing we've gotten that you can follow at this point. I mean, we're going to see the race game, and there might be something there as well, but...
Do you just gamble race game at this point, given how bad Kakariko was?
Well, I always gamble race game, because there's things that I would go back for that I would... Sorry, there are things that I wouldn't go back for that I might want to grab. But for these runners, yeah, I think that wouldn't be a bad play. But Buane just going to go ahead and check it ahead of time. Yeah, you want that.
Yep. And that's the thing. I've heard a lot of runners say, you know, the meta play is usually just do what Buane did and go down south. But I've heard a lot of people say, if I find nothing, I'm just going to gamble that something's there.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And it sometimes there's still nothing there. But in this case, that's not. It looks like GFE is just gonna gamble it. He'll be happy to see that sword. To answer the question in chat, but the library, I believe, was 20 rupees, so it's definitely nothing they're going to come back for. Save and quit with that sword, and I expect South Shore checks for both of these runners. Because again, the only lead we've gotten in terms of items is those flippers, and South Shore routes so nicely into flippers, so...
Yeah. You know, you'd want to go do a dungeon, but at this point, we have really no reason to even attempt to go over to Eastern.
We could go do Eastern, and we could get a couple items. One might be out of logic, might be able to get 3 items. But you'd like to wait until a little more chance of actually being able to finish. And it's dependent anyway, so... Just 20 rupees so far in the dam. Money not an issue today.
Yeah, we're not going to see much divergence because of this. There's not really any reason to either.
No, there really isn't. Okay, Mini Moldorm came 5 more checks.
Hopefully something. Hopefully this becomes, you know, our light hype kind of deal.
Yeah. Nice to be able to combine that sword with some bomb strats there. Oh, there's that bee. Okay, we got a hook shot, which does nothing right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really good item to have if you want to have it. And once we get mountain access, it'll open up the east side. But at the moment, before we get a glove or a flute, it does nothing.
I will say that does kind of eliminate, we were paying attention a little bit to our runners warming up before the race started, and GFE had been doing some work on the Moldorm bounce, so that's not going to be required.
Not today. Okay, GFE gonna do this a little bit differently. Gonna go ahead and hit the hobo up first. And maybe we'll hit the... Oh, there's an item. And hit the... Hopefully he doesn't skip that ice rod cave, because that's a hammer. And gonna need that. One of the absolute hard required no getting around it items in this game. Oh, and that's another one of those gotta have it hard required items. So hopefully Buane does decide to go over to the hobo and get that moon pearl before heading over towards Zora. Or after, I mean, either way.
Yeah, Buane is heading to check out the island real quick, but is making the way to hobo, so...
Yep, not gonna get that single rupee sitting there all lonely on the island.
And they are really just going to trade locations here.
Yep. And I have no idea which one of these is faster. They're probably pretty equal at this point. And gonna get Moon Pearl and Hammer. And then we'll see what Zora has. That still doesn't really open anything for us. We need a glove to make that hammer useful. Need Dark World access otherwise to make that Moon Pearl useful. Mirror would also get us to East Death Mountain with a glove. A little bit redundancy there. Yeah, that flute, yeah. Okay, Buane the first into the waterfall ferry. We're gonna be maxed out on hearts by like 40 minutes at this rate.
I think we will get to see GFE throw that bottle in since his is now empty.
I always forget to do this. And unfortunately just replaced with another bee. Okay, probably not gonna go get that shield.
Yeah, I have my doubts there.
Okay, let's see what Zora has. Or are we gonna have to go over to Eastern to get our progression? Oh hi! Look, it's a glove! That's Dark World.
Yeah, that's a great find there, so we can avoid Eastern for now.
Yeah.
And it does look like, I'm guessing Buane's going to start off with Hype Cave. This is pretty standard start for Dark World checks.
Yeah, we'll see if he does Hype Cave, maybe goes into the pyramid, and or maybe, I'm not sure I see Pod, but we'll see. He might just save and quit out of there, go to Thieves Town. We'll see what our map check shows us. We have a Pendant Swamp.
And I think that was 5-6 at Thieves and Mire.
That's what I saw as well. Also, really nice to have the hook shot already once you see that it is indeed a Pendant Swamp. Now, I know Buane can hover. And we saw GFE practicing the Moldorm bounce, but I'm sure they're both really happy that they don't have to worry about that.
And Hype Cave. Okay, I was about to say not a great start, but Flute really changes that equation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion if you get one good thing out of these 5, I'm pretty happy, and the Flute's a pretty good one. Now, we are going to need it. We do have to do Misery Mire. It also gives us that mountain access. And it wouldn't surprise me if either one of these runners either chose to do that. Maybe not right away, but maybe if they decide to do Thieves Town right now, that maybe right after that. Buane looks like he's going to head over towards at least the pyramid. We'll see where he goes after that. GFE as well.
Yeah. I'm honestly a bit surprised by this, but you know, every runner's got a little different attitude about how to approach Dark World routing. Right out of that, you know, you only got 2 checks to your left or 2 checks heading this way, so.
Yeah, Buane not going to pick up that heart container. He's already got a bunch of them, and you know, sometimes it's more valuable to pick up those containers and those pieces late in the seed, where they can give you, especially the pieces, can give you a nice refill at a convenient time.
Yeah, given we're already at a full row of hearts, I don't blame either of them for skipping.
Yeah. No, you don't pick that up. You'll get another one in a chest for free later. I'm going to see a catfish check. I mean, you're never going to be closer, I guess, so you're doing it now, and you've already done the Zora area. So you have no other reason to come over here, and GFE can do the same thing, so hopefully they get something good, both runners.
And GFE actually did get a replacement gold bee there.
I think GFE was maybe thinking of picking up that bottle for a pod check, but you know, to sequence break into the bow side, but doesn't quite have enough money.
And unfortunately, our stun prize is just small magics.
So he's gonna get a green 20 here over a catfish. Does he go back and buy that bottle?
I doubt it, but I don't know, because
Yeah, it's
if I was gonna get a
time
potion,
loss.
I would probably look at the Lake Hylia shop.
Mm-hmm. Also, he does have a green, so I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like the red is really only for safety, and maybe not for a pod play. Also, you've got that flute, so you can flute over to the witch's hut anytime you want.
So I imagine Buane's gonna head into Village of Outcasts here, probably knock out Thieves Town to start, but I wouldn't be surprised either to see a mountain play here.
Yeah, this might be the mountain play. Or, okay, wait, Eastern?
I think this might just be Sahasrahla. I can't imagine Buane would
No, yeah,
gamble
you're
Eastern.
right. Yeah, I think he just wants to, maybe just wants to knock out a couple more of those fear 1 checks, just get them off his mind, not worry about them. Technically, at least two of the items in Eastern. I guess technically it could be just one, because one could be in the big key chest behind the lamp, and the other could be on the Armos Knights, but little bit more of a commitment if you're going into Eastern, especially without a bow and it being a pendant.
Yeah, and Sahasrahla's closet really just nothing this time.
Nothing you want. GFE looks like he's going to go straight over to the Dark World and probably Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. And Buane going to hit the mountain.
Depending on if we find some Titan's Mitts in Village of Outcasts or on the mountain, this could be, you know, a really important moment to start off this race.
Yeah, because if Buane full clears the Light World version of this, and GFE gets some mitts before he heads up there, it's going to be... And if there's something good behind those mitts, it's going to be hard for Buane to want to come back here. But we're going to see Skullwoods first, I think. No fire rods, so we're just going to clear out the front. Not really surprised that the old man doesn't have anything. Seems like he only has stuff. When he's out of logic, he just doesn't seem to have much. But it's always good to get that save quit spot.
Yeah, that's always a quicker way to get a full health refill before starting your journey.
Mm-hmm. And a Bombos in Skullwoods, which may or may... I mean, it'll get us into Ice Palace. Might be useful for other things as well. We'll see.
The old adage of fire locking fire, right?
Yep, I do think we saw a sword there on Spec Rock Cave, and yeah, whatever it was, it's definitely something that Buane wants. But I feel like I saw the number 2 on it, so pretty certain that's a sword. GFE waiting for the hand to give him a ride back to the front.
And you are right, that is our Master Sword. So 2 swords. There are still 2 more in the pool that we don't know where they are.
Nice bomb jump from Buane. That is one of the more tricky bomb jumps.
Yeah, you're pretty much slightly clipping yourself into that wall, is the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Buane gonna do Spike Cave even. It suggests that if he wants to do the rest of the mountain, he'll save and quit out of this.
Yeah, it's really heads up move here. There might be a chance that Buane is thinking, hey, I'm gonna just go do Tower of Hera and could get the free refill of magic with having hookshot.
Yeah, I've actually seen that play. I guess not what he's doing, but I've actually seen that play come up a few times where because you get to the point if you don't have the Dark Death Mountain axe, it's just light. It's not unusual. Oh, he's gonna flute back here. Okay, not unusual for runners to say, you know what, this way I don't have to make that decision between Spike Cave and Spiral Cave. I've already done Spike Cave. Now I'll do East Death Mountain, go back to Hera, and then finish off with Spiral Cave. And for GFE, looks like it was only that Bombos in the front of Skullwoods, so there's an item in the back. I suspect he'll head over to Thieves Town.
Yeah, it is a full clearable crystal dungeon. You'd prefer to have boots for it. Thieves Town is just, known for its long, straight hallways for running, and so.
Yeah, and he's going ahead and checking that bumper ledge and sees the piece of heart. Not going to be picking that up. Doesn't have to worry about that for later. Let's see, 2 more chances for Paradox Cave to come through with a belt. Oh, there's a sword. And a mushroom. Okay, well. So 2 mountain swords, one of which GFE's not getting.
We actually got to see all 4 swords tonight. That's great.
That's pretty fun. And also, the last 3 were within, what, the last 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I do like the GFE is going to go ahead and clear out Village of Outcasts. There are enough things that'll make these sound better. That I think it's worth doing these checks first.
Yeah, if GFE pulls the boots out of the bombable hut, never mind, going in.
Okay.
That's
the thing that would help him the most. Or a sword, but of course we're not going to see that. We know where all the swords are. Tempered sword, not that big a deal on the blind fight, but it's kind of nice to be able to one-shot all the enemies in the dungeon.
Yeah, unfortunately, the red Zyzax will take a little more damage than that, or will take more.
Ooh, hello, Mitz. Okay, so that's really good for GFE. When he goes to the mountain, he's going to be able to do everything but, like, Ether Tablet and presumably Turtle Rock. And again, if there's something on Dark Death Mountain, it might be a while before Buane wants to come back to check it out.
And Buane's leaving Tower of Hera got the big key out of the basement, as well as our first item with just that piece of heart. And I can't fault this idea.
No, I didn't even. Yeah, it's a pendant dungeon. I wasn't even thinking of it as a pendant.
Yeah,
but it is, and so I don't blame him for not wanting to finish it out. So I'll finish this route with Spiral Cave. Well, meanwhile, GFE gonna head to the back. Always nice when Thieves Town's a crystal and you have hammer and you don't have to worry about orphaning that big chest. You just do it. No difficult decisions to be made.
Now, I know we were it's kind of like you want to wait for this dungeon, but do we go early Ice Palace here in GFE's case? Like, that is, we've got the kit.
Yeah. You don't have Canis Samaria. So, in the old days, before Icebreaker was a thing, yeah, I think that would be fine. I'd probably want to... I mean, there's so much value in the mountain.
Yeah, either mountain or even Mire area.
Yeah.
I think you're going to prioritize finding out your medallion needs at this point.
Yeah, I like to know my medallions. And he can check both of them. He can check that TR medallion while he goes to the mountain, and then, a quick Mire dip. Not necessarily a dip, but a Mire area dip to get that info there. And in the meantime, maybe you get Canis Samaria, maybe you get a Fire Rod to make Ice Palace better. GFE will get a sword to make it better if he does go to the mountain, so that'll be good. We'll see if Buane also does the Skullwoods checks, or if he heads straight over to Thieves Town. Okay, looks like he's just headed straight over to Village of Outcasts in Thieves Town.
Hopefully that Bombos medallion is not going to be kind of a blocking Buane for a little while.
Yeah.
We did get the small key out of the maiden cell, so we will be checking the big chest here in Thieves Town.
Just more money. Oh, there's a lamp. We have fire now. We have two types of fire. We have the offensive fire in the bombos and the light your way fire in the lamp. Eventually we'll get a fire rod, but...
So nothing lost by GFE there, not checking out the brewery.
Yep.
No boots or anything there, so...
Yeah, and he'll get that lamp right after this fight.
Nice holding to the script there for GFE on blind for our first crystal. At just under 30 minutes.
Now, without a mirror, we'll see if he does anything. He has a hammer, so doing hammer pigs makes a lot of sense. Maybe grabs the smith and takes him on a tour. We'll see.
I think I could see doing a mini tour here. You know, go do hammer pegs, go do your dig game, go back up, grab your smith, head down, do Stumpy, and then save and quit, turn in the smith, and then go up the mountain.
Yeah, with that flute,
or
it's not
Mire
too
area.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna at least see hammer pigs. Hammer pigs without boots is slow and annoying, but probably worth the trouble. Or we'll see if it's worth the trouble. But it's as good a time as any to do it. And it's just a heart container. We'll see more of those later, so... We'll let another heart container show up instead of a green 20.
I mean, at this point in the tournament, I think all of our runners have probably had at least a few swords sub 10 hearts and, you know, an 8 heart master sword seed. And we know that GFE's likely going to find a tempered sword relatively soon, is already at 10 hearts. I don't think we should be worried about them.
I feel like in hard mode, you're even less incentivized to pick them up when you see them like that, just because you're gonna get them in chests anyway. So why take the extra time to go pick them up? Ooh, just arrows with the dig game. And of course, because the dig game does not like it when you bring followers, you have to go back for the smith if you want them.
Yeah, that's one of those neat things you learn is, you know, even if you grab that purple chest and bring it with you and leave it a screen away, for some reason the dig game vendor knows.
Of course, on the other hand, that same mechanic is why we can mirror in front of the locksmith guy without actually having the purple chest. So it kind of you get one, you lose the other. It kind of evens out. Okay, just arrows on Stumpy, so... Let's see what the smiths have for us. And it seems like, yeah, the big prize for Thieves Town really was just those myths. Always a little sad when you get something really good at the front and then it's like, yep, then nothing.
I mean, at least we had to do it.
Yep. Just some bombs on the smiths.
And GFE is fluting. I'm guessing this is going to be the one. Yep.
Yep, we're going to do the mountain first.
Tempting.
And hey, it's completely in logic with that lamp. Or at least the old man's rescue is in logic. Everything else already was with the flute.
And unfortunately, GFE is going to get the slightly longer time-based sword here. I'm guessing he'll see that one inside Spec Rock and get that. And unfortunately, that one in Paradox would be a little quicker.
Yeah, you can't know that, so... I have seen a few runners do the Spectacle Rock Cave late in their Death Mountain traversal, but I don't know that I see that happening here. Yeah, no surprise that GFE is just going to go straight for that area.
Yeah, my guess is GFE might skip Tower of Hera completely and open up the TR portal. So
Yeah, because once you go into without a mirror, once you go into the dark world, you're not going to be able to come back unless you find a mirror. Could be in Hookshot Cave or in Super Bunny. But yeah, he is going to grab that sword, and yeah, I would too. I mean, you don't know where that other sword could be buried way deep or be in a pendant dungeon that you're never going to touch.
Yeah, you're going to hear this a lot. Jumping from Master to Tempered is a huge deal.
Yeah, very, very significant. Gonna try for the bomb jump. That looks good. And he gets it. Oh, we're gonna see the similar play that Buane did. We're gonna get that Spike Cave check right away. A little surprise in GFE's case because, you know, he's gonna end up in the Dark World. Thought maybe he'd do this at the end of everything else. Could do all the Light World stuff and then go into the Dark World, do Hookshot Super Bunny, and then into this. But this works too.
This might be a little close. Okay, just enough magic. Whew.
You should have enough magic if you have a full bar with the blue cane to make it all the way through the spikes.
Yeah, I was just a little worried given he had started at pretty low health for that. And I think for GFE, part of that also is he knows when he goes over to Dark Death Mountain, he'll actually be able to get the full magic in Super Bunny.
Yeah, that's true. He'll be able to refill that magic, which is nice.
The only hope here is that if Turtle Rock is Bombos, which I'm guessing he's going to open that portal, currently will not have the magic for it. Unless he wants to spend that green potion.
Well, he does have plenty of money and easy access to the potion shop, so if he does choose to use that magic potion, it wouldn't be a terrible thing. Okay, Buane gonna get his bombs from the smiths. Now let's see what he does next. A little less incentive for him to come up here. He's already done a large portion of it. We'll see if he goes for something else.
And unfortunately, that bomb for GFE did not hit the switch. It actually was a little too high, I guess.
Yeah, that seemed a bit odd. Ah, Buane gonna check the Misery Mire area, so we will get to see the Mire medallion requirement here. It is Bombos, so Buane gonna need to get over to Skull Woods at some point.
I can't imagine, even if GFE comes over here, he's going to enter Mire without Kane yet.
Well, he can't without a... Oh, no, we have a hook shot, so we could totally could enter Mire. But yeah, I agree. Oh, that's a book sitting there on the floating island.
Okay, well, I mean, if we get a mirror, a lot of incentive to come and do... to get that book and head over to Ether Tablet, at least.
And Buane is going to go head back over to Dark Death Mountain. I mean, it's still 6 items for him, so... And plus Turtle Rock medallion requirement.
Yeah, and given that Buane does not have the Bombos medallion, he doesn't have an incentive to even consider ice yet.
Also, no reason for him to open the portal from the top because he has no medallion, so unless... no, there's no way he has a medallion because there's no checks between here and there, so might as well just do it from Super Bunny.
And here we go with a little bit of divergence on this Tower of Hera play. GFE is actually going to climb Tower of Hera.
He's done a little bit more, so there's a little more likelihood to his mind that there's something else worth it up there. Buane can check the medallion before heading over to Hookshot Cave. And it's Quake.
Yeah. And there's our second item out of Tower of Hera, just another bottle.
GFE going to take the express fall. Really no surprise that he's not going to go ahead and finish this out.
Yeah, worst case, given we know where the book is and the unlikeliness of this being a PED seed.
Yeah.
Skip it.
Yeah, and nothing in Hookshot Cave.
So that leaves us, I guess, with Purple Chest, Ice Palace, or Mire.
Ooh. That's pretty
or
gross.
Mushroom.
Yeah, let's turn that mushroom in. Or Eastern Pod.
Oh, right.
Bolus Pod and Eastern. Let's go. Looks like Buane's maybe going for Bolus Pod.
I mean, we've got the potion, so we can potion glitch at least and check all of Pod except for Helmet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a decent chance you'll find a bow at one of these, so...
Also, Fire Rod would be nice. We do need an Ice Rod, Mirror. I mean, we're still missing a lot of things. Might need those boots for Desert.
Oh, you're right. I was about to say, do we actually need Mirror? No, we definitely need Mirror in this seed.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think about it. You're right. Yeah, because we need it either to get the book to get into Desert, or we need just to get the Desert. So, chances are, we're going to use it just to get to Desert and leave the book there and hope that we don't last location in Ether or Bombo's tablet item, but could be a thing.
That's a really interesting way for a seed to unfold. I don't think I've seen this happen.
Yeah, I mean, you can get some weird things behind the mirror that end up being required, but yeah, to know that you need a mirror at this point when Swamp Palace is a pendant is kind of weird. Unfortunately, GFE not able to open up Turtle Rock because finds out it's Quake.
And yes, our Palace of Darkness is bow locked. Not going to stop Buane at all. Going to head into the back or over to the bow lock side.
You know, I maybe we don't see as many people breaking this, but I feel like there were a lot more bow locked pod bows in the previous tournament than we've seen this tournament. But it can happen because there are two of them, and only one of them needs to be available. That was very nicely done, very quick from Buane.
Yeah, and there's that pickup of that full magic for GFE, so I kind of see the play there to get Spike Cave early.
Yeah, and now GFE probably, I mean, it's still icky, but I guess you just go do the dungeon that you can full clear and go do ice. Buane doesn't have that option without the bombos. And this could be, I'm going to buy a couple of blue potions before... This is also the Mushroom Tournament, but might also choose to buy a couple of blue potions to help him out in Ice Palace.
And GFE is picking up that piece of heart, so he's not even going to consider waiting on Kana Samari to show up for a fake powder.
Another bottle on Buane's side.
And you were right. Here comes Ice Palace. I think this is the right play, to be honest.
I do. I agree. It's a clearable dungeon.
Yep, it's a clearable crystal, and that's the goal here. So.
Yep. I mean, it could burn him a little bit if Buane manages to find a Kana Samaria before heading over there, or even the Fire Rod. But you know, you can't think like that. Your other choices are essentially a pod without a bow, Pendant Eastern without a bow, and he's already done Skullwoods, and Misery Mire without a cane.
And I just have to point this out. Buane is having to consider what to do here a little bit. No bow, no cane, no boomerang. Having to figure out how I'm going to flip that switch. That is
yeah, yeah. He had
definitely-
nothing good. That's pretty crazy. No rods. No. Yeah. Wow. He did figure it out though.
Yeah.
Not a situation you see every day. There's that big key. And always nice to see a good old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump every once in a while.
Yeah, and really this is, this is purely rough the NMG kind of palace or Ice Palace play here.
Doing a nice job in the big Stalfos room there. Oh, and there's there's that Cane of Samaria for Buane. Locked behind the bow. So he's going to have a much easier Ice Palace. That's a little unfortunate for GFE. Still would call this the right play.
Yeah.
Buane still needs to go to Skull Woods to get a Bombos to, or find a Fire Rod somewhere to even consider going in there anyway.
And just not to miss out on it, that was a really clean Ice Palace bomb jump there.
Yeah, very nicely done. I always say you still gotta know how to do it. You never know when that King of Samara is gonna be behind that be somewhere in Ice Palace. So it's, can't be afraid of it. It looks like that was the prize in Ice Palace. Sorry, in Pod was that cane, which doesn't do anything for Buane right now.
Yeah, that does raise some interesting questions about the logic here, because realistically, we know that means Meyer's full clearable, but we required the bow. So does that mean GFE is about to find a bow here in Ice, possibly?
Yeah, it could be. Or it could be sitting in Eastern, or it could be sitting right here in Agina's Cave. I don't believe we've seen this yet. But nope, just 100 rupees.
Calling for the vanilla bow.
Of course they are.
Vanilla items hurt the most.
Yeah, they do.
Run a seed and have anything be vanilla. You will not be happy.
It's very, very true. Buane running out of places to go. I think he's got Eastern and Skull Woods at this point. And it looks like it's going to be Eastern. Doesn't want to go to Skull Woods.
Yeah, unfortunately, without that fire rod, it feels bad.
Yeah, especially when you already did almost everything else. I mean, Purple Chest is, I guess, what's left. And I'm not sure. I think he gave up his mushroom too, so I don't think a fake powder play is on his agenda either.
Realistically, even if it's a mirror here, that could, send Buane on a couple other things. For all we know, there is something definitely here in Eastern, because GFE hasn't found anything really in this Ice play. GFE going to set up for the easiest bomb jump in Ice Palace.
Yeah, there's a lot of bomb jumps in Ice Palace, as it turns out.
Yeah, and that's the one that actually, it looks cool, but it's really easy to set up. You just get yourself in that corner and drop a bomb. And I think we did get both small keys, so this dungeon was not Samaria locked.
Oh my god. Well, not quite vanilla, but darn near.
Yep.
Oh my god. So a bow in Eastern, because of course, why wouldn't there be a bow in Eastern? Oh my god. BFE letting those puffs get away, unfortunately, but seems to be handling it pretty well. Has a couple of potions if necessary. I'm a big fan of using the sword spins on the temper when you get them out of that when they get out of that corner like that. So a lot of times you can even get double hits, so it's really nice. Oh, half magic's nice. That would be a really nice thing to have before you go into Ice Palace. Although without a fire rod, it's not nearly as big a deal.
And Buane is going to full clear this Green Pendant Eastern Palace. At this point, I think Buane realizes there's not a lot that he has available to him.
No, there really isn't.
So he was going to gamble that the Green Pendant is required. But yeah, Ice Palace only offers half magic today. That's not bad, just not as beneficial as we were hoping.
Yeah, it's not progression is the main point. I mean, you don't turn down half magic. You're happy to see it, but you're not hoping to. That's not where you're, going, oh my god, I'm gonna do Ice Palace, and I'm gonna get half magic.
Now, the question, of course, becomes when will GFE go to Eastern Palace? And I think what could happen here is GFE still hasn't visited Sahasrahla, so maybe he puts together a Sahasrahla into Eastern play before dipping Pod.
I could see that.
But he also has those potions, so it might not be that simple.
And just 10 arrows on Saha, so Eastern's big prize was just the bow. Unless, I mean, let's see, we still have, Fire Rod could be ped. Ice Rod always can be ped if Turtle Rock's a crystal. Our missing medallion, Quake. So yeah, there are definitely still decent number of ped possibilities. Now, right now, Buane's just gonna say, you know what, I got a bow, I'm gonna go finish Pod, and that makes sense. That is a clearable crystal for him, and probably sends him to Skull Woods afterwards, I think. His other option would be to get the second item out of Hera, but like you already abandoned that. I don't see going back to that unless you're really thinking ped. Yeah, hard to think ped when you can't even get into Swamp.
Yeah, if I had Mirror, I might consider going back up there because of the book and the Ether Tablet as well, but I will not walk around the mountain another time.
Not if there's a better option. Meanwhile, GFE is going to dip into Mire and is not going to find a cane here, but maybe get something else good.
Yeah, Mirror could be really nice. A Fire Rod as well.
Heck, even an Ice Rod.
Yeah.
Ice Rod wouldn't be progression, but you got to find it at some point, so always good to not have to hunt for one of those. And maybe he finds a bow here that would send him to Eastern, which that then would not be necessary for him, but could send him to Pod, though, which is necessary, both as a crystal dungeon and with that Cane of Samaria.
There is our first item out of Mire already with the bug net.
Not what you're looking for. Alright, always nice to have the lamp when you're going through Pod. You know, all these runners can do dark rooms, but given a choice, give them an easy lamp where they don't have to go out of their way for it. They're going to prefer not to have to do them.
I say as long as I've got a Fire Rod for that room.
Fire Rod is, Fire Rod is pretty good too. You know, I don't mind I don't mind Pod with a Fire Rod's fine too. But given a choice, having some sort of light source for sure. Okay, and what is Helmasaur going to give us?
Given how little we have left, I feel like we're about to find something progression-wise off of one of these two checks that we're making.
Yeah, I think so.
That, or we're about to see some gross purple chest action.
Also, between the two runners, we have Pyramid Fairy. Neither one has it on their own. Yeah, because Buane can't even get into Mire because he doesn't have that Bombos found in Skull Woods. GFE doesn't have the red cane that he needs to come back to Pod for, so... But between the two of them, they could do Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah,
running out of things. They're both running out of things, though, so GFE is probably going to end up in Pod Eastern relatively soon. Buane probably going to end up at Skull Woods relatively soon.
And yes, to the question in chat, no, we have not seen Lumberjack. Usually runners will wait for that until they have the boots.
Yeah, no reason to check it at this point. If you're, a lot of times you'll see runners check it earlier, super early, looking for like bombs or money on tree poles and bush crabs, but you don't see that nearly as much in standard because you usually come out with what you need for early Kakariko. And sometimes you'll see runners if they hit the mountain from the bottom instead of fluting there, you'll see them check it then. But we've had neither of those as good opportunities. So yeah, they'll check it if and when they get boots.
Yeah, I was actually discussing this today. If I complete a standard escape and don't find any bombs or, you know, have low money out of escape, I might consider checking Lumberjack just because I'll do a bush crab and a tree pole.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's about the only reason I'd go there without boots.
Yeah, so you see it a lot more often in open seeds. So Buane's gonna get his bombos, which means he'll head over to Misery Mire. Looks like Misery Mire had nothing, which is unfortunate for GFE. Other than it should send him over to Pod Eastern, and where he can get his bow and his cane. Hopefully he does Eastern first and gets the bow, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think without the mirror and having not done Sahasrahla, it's a possibility at least.
Yeah,
although this might be purple chest.
This could be purple chest. We have not. It'll be a new check for everyone.
So at this point, if it's not purple chest, I think that means it's gonna be Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And did we actually see the second item out of Mire? I missed that for a sec.
I saw red. It was a red rupee on the cutscene.
Okay, so we did get both of our items between the bug net and the 20.
Yep. Managed to catch it right before GFE mirrored out. Buane gets his bombos. If this is something, it could be pretty big. This purple chest. Although Buane at least will be able to go and do all of Mire. We'll see if he chooses to full clear. If you're ever going to leave something, it is going to be that cutscene chest, but we have so little left to do.
Yeah. And
he might do ice first. Yeah, this makes sense. Not going to find anything here either.
Going to be a lot quicker.
Yeah. Both of these dungeons will be a lot quicker for Buane because he's going to be able to do Icebreaker for Ice Palace, and he's going to be able to single dip Misery Mire. The good news is when you go back into Misery Mire for GFE, it's really, really quick just to get to the back. If Buane full clears Mire, he's still gonna spend a ton of time in there.
I'd be concerned that Buane might double go into Mire, potentially. Given how little Buane has left, and knowing that cutscene chest was our second item, you know, Buane will get that big key out of the room right next to the big chest and might decide, I'll go straight to Vidi, and then decide afterwards, I'm still missing an item.
Yeah.
Do I go back in for cutscene?
Yeah, it's not unusual for runners to gamble that the item would be on Vidi instead of on the cutscene in that exact situation.
And our bow is in Eastern Palace, so
GFE running out of places to go. Is floating to 5. We'll just see if he... looks like he's going to do Eastern first, which will save him time. He won't have to double dip Pod. And we'll see if he does all of Eastern.
Gonna at least check out Sahasrahla first. The question is going to become, does he flute back to 5 to head into Pod, or head into Eastern Palace? But yeah, at this point...
Buane got his Icebreaker done, so...
yeah.
Very nice.
If you haven't seen that before, that is pretty much the... I call it new, but it's...
It's over a year old now.
Yeah, it is getting... It's at least a year old now, and it is just so much better to go through Ice Palace. Ice was pretty much the dungeon most people would wait to go to until, like, that was the last dungeon you wanted to do. Nowadays,
Go mode... Yeah, that's the big thing, is the go mode difference. Really isn't that much. Like, bomb jump mode is only like 15 seconds slower, give or take a few seconds. But man, oh man, if you're full clearing, it's huge. It's a huge. We're talking minutes.
Yeah.
Different.
This path, like going the icebreaker path, easily lets you hit every chest without even worrying anymore.
Well, iced tea is still a pain, but everything else is right on path.
And GFE did go into Eastern first, so he is going to get that bow, be able to clear pod first trip in.
Yep.
This is a really good moment for him. But
Yep.
as we said, this is going to be a pyramid fairy for progression.
It sure looks that way. Yeah, GFE, if he decides to leave with that bow, probably saves a bunch of time. But we still don't know the ped situation. With as little left on the table. Of course, still that mirror has to show for that even to be an option.
Yeah, and I would be extra concerned of that now at this point, just because we are one item away from pedestal, and we just haven't seen anything else.
Yep.
I mean, I think you could make the argument you gamble a swamp play for something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I would want to go all out on pedestal at this point if I found mirror.
Yeah, I mean, mirror just opens up so many things. Opens up all those mirror checks. Opens up both the book checks because, well, the book's behind the mirror.
Now, the other question is if you get that book, mirror, do you go instantly for the book and the ether tablet before making a play to swamp?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, swamp is 6 items, but it's a slow 6 items. Whereas
plus the Bombos tablet's right there.
Yeah, and the Bombos tablet. But yeah, it's also slow. But yeah, but then you can't get the Bombos because you didn't get the book. But on the other hand, you know, you go up to the mountain, you get that book, you get your ether tablet right there. And that's it.
Fortunately, Cold Stare getting a little away from Buane there. Still a bit cleaner than GFE's was. I know, you know, for a lot of NMG runners, especially, you want to go for those poke dash strats in the corner, and we just don't have boots yet.
Yeah, also, I mean, Buane does enough randomizer. He's very used to using that Bombos, but in NMG, you don't. So you use the Fire Rod, so... the timing is, you know, a little bit different. Actually, I don't know if it's so much different. It's just it's going to feel different compared. It looks like GFE is going to finish off this dungeon, and I think that's. I mean, it's unfortunate unless we have pedestal, but totally understand it. You know?
Yeah,
you don't want to come back here.
Armless has 2 items for you right now.
Okay, this will be the Meyer play from Buane.
Yeah, Buane should have at least a little bit of a lead here. Just given GFE clearing pod without the mirror is going to take a little bit longer. Well, not that it was any slower than it was or faster for Buane, but...
GFE gains time in pod for not having to double dip it the way Buane did. Buane will gain time on GFE both for... the Ice Palace with the Cane of Samaria, but also being able to single dip Meyer. May give some of that time back if he does choose to go back in for cutscene rather than getting it the first time. So overall, that's overall advantage Buane, but still a lot of games we play, a lot of items we still need. And we still need that mirror. We still need a quake. We still need both rods. I mean. And we still don't even know if we need boots.
Yeah, we are far from go mode at this point. For an hour in, you know, we've had plenty of seeds where we've had go mode sub-hour, and in this one we are missing a lot of items.
And GFE gonna turn in that green pendant and be disappointed, and probably flute straight back to 5 and do pod. And unfortunately, we're at that point where we're pretty much seeing the runners do, you know, basically trace each other's footsteps, and doing it slowly too. Neither of these dungeons is fast if you're full clearing them.
Yeah, unfortunately, like the placement of the big key in Meyer and our last item in Meyer does not help there.
No, not at all. You know, and I see some people in chat saying it feels like a ped seed, and it kind of does, just because we need so many items. If it is a mirror sitting there in the Pyramid Fairy, it opens a lot. Like anything else, like a Quake would open up Turtle Rock, and so that's 5 items.
And that feels bad without a fire rod.
It feels bad without a
rod.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Or
we
a
have
mirror.
no rods. No rods, so we don't even know how far we can go in. It might only open 1. That's a really a good point that I should have thought about. If it's boots, that gives us 2 boots checks. That's almost nothing. It can't give us a book because we know where the book is. I guess Mirror would also give us Desert Palace, which is probably what you would do first, because you've already done Mire at that point.
And Buane is definitely going to save time here in Mire, even more so compared to GFE having to double dip this, as Buane is doing cutscene chest even before finding the big key.
Yeah, just going for it.
Yeah, I think you feel like you can't gamble on this one.
I mean, this is very efficient routing for Mire if you're guaranteed to have to check everything, and so it's gonna work out well for Buane. He'll get this red 20. Be disappointed with the item, but he'll know that he gotten everything. Just needs to find that big key.
Yeah, and for Buane, I think the only thing we have left is Purple Chest or Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. I think you do Pyramid Fairy first.
Yeah, it's more density.
Yeah, it's 2 items versus 1.
But I think everybody's got those nightmare stories of, oh, I did that dungeon and I didn't do Purple Chest and it was Mirror.
Yeah. Purple Chest Mirror is just the worst. Like, no, but everybody's had it. Nobody likes it. Like, I believe back in the day, it wasn't even allowed in the logic because they didn't have it yet, so you could save and quit with it and keep the Purple Chest. Buane with his big key is going to go hit up Viddy and get that second red crystal.
I just realized Buane is maxed out at 14 hearts.
Yep.
We can't improve at all at this point in terms of our equipment.
Well, GFE's got 13, so, I mean, this is a very health-heavy seed early, and they both skipped health.
And yes, to all the questions in chat, at this point, the only thing we haven't seen is Pyramid Fairy. Honestly, that's the only thing in logic that we don't know what it is.
Nice use of sword beams from GFE with that same conundrum with the switch.
Although GFE did have the bow as well, so...
Yeah, he had other options. But hey, it saves a quick swap, right?
Although GFE is going to probably want to start taking some damage here.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Although, if he chooses to, he could just hammer jump and kind of go around the long way, and maybe just not even death warp. Going to show off his NMG strats over on Viddy.
Yeah, did get bumped a little bit by the eyes, but able to get back on track and just take down Viddy.
GFE gets his Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, and I'm sure both runners are really feeling it on this one. Both are playing about as well as can be expected on this seed, but you're going and you're just like, where is progression? Where are my items? And you really get worried at this point when you just aren't finding anything.
Yeah, if you're using a map tracker and suddenly you've got a bunch of gray squares and a bunch of red squares, like one green square, it just doesn't feel good. The gray squares haven't been the places you've been to, the red ones, the ones you can't go to.
And there's full health for GFE as well.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk out. I mean, death warping, at least I think so. I mean, death warping at this point is just painful and slow. And there is the Pyramid Fairy play from Buane.
Yeah, for Buane, the only other play at this point was Purple Chest, so 2 or 1. There was no question. This is the better play
sure.
at this point.
Now, what are we gonna have here?
We know it's something.
It's gonna be
Just
something.
how much?
Yep. Okay. Moment of truth. Oh, guys. Oh, and there it is. It's the mirror. Oh. Okay, so you do desert first, but then what?
Yeah, you're gonna go. You're beelining desert just because you need to know if you need boots at this point.
Yeah, that too. Oh gosh, if this. I mean, you want to get boots, so if you need boots, you know you're gonna get them. But man, it would be nice to finish another crystal, I think. And then you have to decide. Okay, I have Swamp Palace. Do I go get the book? What do I do first? But yeah, that puts Ped in logic. I know chat's excited for that. Doing a checkerboard cave first makes a lot of sense here. Maybe you get your boots right here. Or maybe get your fire rod.
Yeah, this is
Or
definitely
maybe there's a green 20. Maybe that's your other bow.
Or a heart, or a sword. No, wait, we know it's not a sword.
Yeah, we know it's not a sword, but yeah, any of those other things it could be.
But yeah, at this point, that is the item that kind of opened up the most.
It is. It totally made sense that was going to be there. We knew it was going to be required because of the book location, the requirement to do desert.
Yeah, if it was Fire Rod, then the only option was the back of Skull Woods for one item.
Yep.
Ice Rod couldn't be there yet just because it doesn't open anything.
Yep.
Boots was 2 or 3 checks really.
Okay, so we're boots locked, but are we hard boots locked? We are hard boots locked. Fun.
And our runners are being forced to have Fire Shield today.
Ah, well. Now that we know that the shield lag is the same no matter what shield you have, so not nearly as big a deal. Let's see. I think Buane's going straight to Swamp.
Yeah, and not going to be able to go for Bombo's tablet here either, so... we did have a full clear of Tower of Hera. GFE... Well, I say full clear. GFE got both items out of Hera. Buane got one of them.
Yep, that's right. And, that might be why Buane does this first, because if this is nothing, then when you go up the mountain, you're doing Hera. And if this is something, then you don't have to think about that. A little surprised that maybe you might check, might have liked to see him check K45. This is not that far away first, but that's only going to be one item, so at best.
Yeah, I mean, is there an item you could have found in K45 that would pull you away from Swamp Palace at this point?
That's actually a really good point. Probably not, because, without rods, the Quake could potentially open the most depending on your Turtle Rock key layout, but yeah, no rods, so. In particular, no Fire Rod.
Yeah, we're just so far away from any realistic go mode right now that I don't think there's anything there.
In essence, it would have to be, a combination of something in K45 and something in Graveyard Ledge, and yeah, that's a tall ask.
Yeah, and really, I know of a lot of chats talking about possibility of boots, and boots right then would have been equally terrifying in some regards, like boots or mirror, because all they imply are bad things. Boots gives us a possibility for an Agaseed right now. Mirror opened us up to the pedestal, and just a lot of out-of-the-way checks. So nothing's really calling out to the runners to say, do this. You kind of just have to make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Question is, does Buane do left side first or go to the back? This is actually one of the few... I mean, to me, it does depend on the items you get. I'm very much one that if I don't get a map or a compass, I don't want to go to the left side and get a map and a compass. We'll see what Buane does. It's a little more... I mean, being that it's a pendant dungeon, and if you found the right items, that maybe you leave. And I say items, you need more than one at this point.
Yeah, that's the
then
big
maybe you
hard
do
part
left side
still.
first.
Because what, we're 4 items from go mode?
Yeah, that's crazy. We're 114 in. These poor runners.
Yes, I promise you, these are, 2 amazing runners, truly some of the best at what they're doing right now. And, you might have seen a lot of faster seeds in this tournament already. Unfortunately, this really is just some of the...
This is a slow seed.
Yeah.
It's funny because, as many people know, I play a very large role in the Super Metroid randomizer stuff. And, there's a fire rod. Yay. We got something.
The map.
But in those seeds, they actually literally have a setting for like fast, slow, medium, and a few other weird settings as well. We don't have that officially in Link to the Past, but sometimes it feels that way, and this is definitely a seed where it feels that way. Cape gets us nothing. We've already seen Bumper Ledge.
Yep.
It's a nice safety item.
So Fire Rod does give us 1 item in Skull Woods. We did leave 1 in the back there, so... But that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if we've gotten Map and Compass. Assuming that we have not, you go back in. You don't want to ever have to come back here.
Yeah, we did see
one
the map,
item in Skull
so...
Woods is... Yeah, 1 item in Skull Woods is not enough to take you away from here, I don't think. The only real question is do you go get that book and do Ether Tab and Hera before Skull Woods? Because we got the other 2 pendants.
There's our big key. So yeah, we've got at least 2 items here still.
Yep. Also, good that he did. The good thing about him doing back first at this point is... had he not, you'd be potentially going back in just for the big chest, assuming it's not map or compass. Whichever we didn't see. GFE getting his mirror. Let's see what he decides to do. Not immediately saving and quitting. Mike, take this straight over to Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah,
which I think is a pretty decent call.
Yeah, looks like you're right. He is heading north, and realistically... I can't blame him. Graveyard Ledge is definitely one of those other locations a lot of people kind of just forget about and leave for a really long time.
Yeah, or at least want to forget about it. There's that green 20 over there. This is turning into a very breadcrumby seed, because if it really is just Fire Rod in here, then you go into Skull Woods to get your next progression item to do, what? Or do you go get your book on pet and get ready to pull ped?
Yeah, unfortunately, book is just so isolated that going for it even to consider a ped check is like I'd almost
if I go get the book, if I go get the book, I'm doing it for Ether Tab and Bombos Tablet. I'm not doing it for a ped check. I'm just gonna go finish up Hera and just blind pull.
And GFE is actually gonna. I don't want to call this safe because I don't know what.
No,
safe
there is nothing safe.
But he's gonna go get the book and at least check out Ether Tablet. I think this is because he wants to be able to do Bombos Tablet at the same time as Swamp, and I like that.
I do too. I also would like to see him finish up Hera while he's at it. It's such a quick dungeon with Hera Pot. He's already shown he can do it, so. Oh, someone's saying that Buane forgot to hit the switch. This will be a real feels bad if that's the case. Although I think that's the last item, so it ended
Yeah, I
up
believe
mattering.
it is. So it works out.
Yeah, everyone's done that on occasion where you go do left side swamp, you forget to hit that switch, you go hookshot over to the other side, and oops, it's a very bad feeling.
So yeah, Buane will be isolating the Bombos tablet. No book at this point, but instead we are going to see K45. So we are starting to run out of more locations.
Oh, there's an ice rod, but we still can't
Okay.
get in. Yeah, I don't see GFE missing that, so that shouldn't be a problem. That opens up nothing. Unless we
Ease
find
of mind?
Yeah. Okay, so Buane with that ice rod, it says, you know what, I'm going to see if maybe Quake is just here on Go Woods with one less item to go, or Boots. With one less item till go mode, I think this makes a little more sense.
Yeah, this could have been Medallion Woods. That's where we got Bombos. So.
It is. So to answer the question about is Buane way ahead, well, it depends. I mean, he's got a full Swamp Palace on GFE, and GFE does need to get in there for a Fire Rod. But we're still missing Boots, and we're still missing Quake to get into Turtle Rock, so... And there's Quake!
So
the poke is required. Oh my.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, I think that does, give Buane a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, I think it does.
This will come down to the Boots location a bit.
Yep.
Like, if Boots are on Bombo's tablet, I think I will give GFE a bit of an advantage because, GFE is going to be much more likely to just be able to go mode, or possibly even leave Swamp after getting the Fire Rod.
Yeah, but... I do like what GFE is doing right now. He's got the Quake. He can get at least one check done in Turtle Rock. It makes a lot of sense to just do the part you can. And maybe, I mean, if it's Boots that locks him out, then that's really good for him because he'll be able to speed through a lot of these other checks. Or we could have that weird key layout where you can get all the way to Laser Bridge without a Fire Rod, but I think that's unlikely when it's not Fire Rod that's in there.
But really quick moth kill there from Buane. Unfortunately, just our compass, so I believe that means our last item will be under the bridge.
Yep, we'll see what it is. Alright, sadly just the big key. So GFE can't go any further in Turtle Rock. Yeah, so what makes this really good for Buane, assuming that Boots are not sitting here in this chest that he's about to check, when he goes back up to the mountain and gets his book, with the possible intent of finishing up Hera and pulling Pad, he's going to get that Quake medallion and going to be like, no, I'm going to go finish Turtle Rock, and he can.
Now, this is an interesting decision from GFE, using the book to get into Desert Palace. Not the way I would have expected, but maybe given, I don't know, is that quicker? I would think it would be slower in this case.
Yeah, I mean, it saves a mirror transition, so maybe it's not. I honestly don't know. He's going to get gated by it, though, just like Buane was. He'll get that red shield and see that small key sitting on the torch and not be able to go further.
Yeah, GFE is about to find out that we are Boots locked, and he's going to find out a little quicker than Buane found out.
Yeah, Buane checked the torch first and saw that small key. When a small key is sitting on the torch, there's still a possibility that we are only logically Boots locked. Because the big key could still be in that middle chest, allowing you to finish the dungeon. But
and we
it's
are
hard
going
Boots
to
lock
see
instead.
GFE catch up or gain a little bit of time here, just because Buane is now going to start kind of hitting those off-mountain checks that GFE did already. So in this case, we already saw Graveyard Ledge, we had seen Bumper Ledge, and I'm guessing we're going to get a purple chest as well from Buane.
Yeah, he may not want to go up to the mountain until it's his only choice, and I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah, I think Buane's made at least 2 mountain climbs, and
yeah,
you talk to any runner and they'll tell you the more mountain climbs you do, you are just giving up time.
Oh, for sure. Doesn't even want the boomerang.
So yeah, GFE is going to get the Ice Rod here. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, no Ice Rod hunt is always good. Okay, so yeah, Buane is going to go do that purple chest. So yeah, GFE is going to, like you say, going to gain that time, some of that time back. And we'll see how GFE chooses to route Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I think we
hopefully
are going to get Bombo's tablet into Swamp.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully GFE does choose to go to the back first, because that big key being on Argus. On the other hand, if boots are here on Bombo's tablet, then if he goes to the back first, he'll be real happy because he'll get that fire rod and he'll be in go mode.
Yeah, if boots are on Bombos, I imagine GFE heads into Swamp Palace and just does, skips left side for sure.
Actually, he might even do.
Oh my god.
Or how about another fetch quest?
Sure.
Which it looks like he's going to follow that right away. I think that's fine. I mean, we are running out of places. I mean, the boots could be anywhere in Turtle Rock, which unfortunately for GFE is the most likely location at this point. But it doesn't mean it can't be in one of these other places. So, he's at this point, checking all of them makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's very possible, both runners are thinking, man, I haven't found anything. Maybe this is like, I just have to play this super safe, and maybe my opponent went for a home run that didn't pay off.
Mm-hmm. Just some money.
So this is either boots on pedestal or boots in GT or in TR.
Yep, that's what we're down to. And GFE going to go do Swamp Palace, gonna get his fire rod. It'd be a gutsy call for him, but he's getting here a lot later than Buane did. And he's also a lot closer to go mode, so I could see him potentially... I think you kill Argus because the ped possibility is still there. But I could see him not going back in for that left side play.
Yeah, as soon as he gets Fire Rod and knowing that TR was Fire Rod locked, I could see him just saying, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I could see that too.
And really, just given what we've seen so far and knowing that it's probably TR, I think he'd have to do that to keep this close.
Yeah, unless the only way... Yeah, unless it's ped, in which case he's got it. They both have dungeons to finish. Wayne, not happy. I don't think that was an accidental bomb drop there, but gonna go get that book. Gonna be happy to see that Ether Tablet does have that quake. I mean, it's not quite as door under key under the doormat as we're used to seeing, but kind of sort of is.
It's the code to the lockbox on the side of the house that has the key.
There you go. So Buane's going to get his quake. He's going to go full clear Turtle Rock. If that's not the answer, he'll be right there to go finish up Hera.
Yeah, and he'll definitely be more incentivized to go clear Hera, given he still has that item.
Mm-hmm. I like the way he slid by that dead rock. That was kind of cool. Yeah, unfortunately that mirror portal location, not the best spot in the world, but it's pretty common to mirror there to get away from the Lionels like he did.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's out to mirror again. I mean, he could have picked up a bomb or something to avoid it, but I'm not sure that would save a significant enough time to do it.
What we can say is this is definitely not an Agaseed.
Yep. Last I heard, boots can't be sitting there on the lumberjack, at least not in a completable seed. I guess was it beatable only where weird things like that can happen, but we don't play that here. But we'll get to see a little bit more of Turtle Rock now. Actually, we'll get to see all of Turtle Rock, potentially.
Yeah, unless we find those boots early, we will see every chest in this dungeon.
And of course, you know, Laser Bridge is always where things end up anyway, so... Okay, GFE is gonna keep going. Yeah, he still wants to mitigate the ped possibility, but I do think maybe I'd like to see him not go left side.
Yeah, I think the difficulty here is he knows there's going to be 2 items. Oh!
Nope, he's leaving now. Okay.
And unfortunately, you know, I'm saying unfortunately, but I think the difficulty here for GFE is just there's going to be a lot of time to make up either way. If this is a ped seed, Buane has that swamp clear. If this is TR, Buane's already there with Skullwoods done.
Yep, that's going to make it hard. GFE does have to do Skullwoods. Doesn't have to do it first, but it makes sense to do it first because you have one more item there if that happened to be boots. And you'd be able to do the Turtle Rock into Ganon's Tower, which is what you'd prefer to do if you can.
And you think the one thing, like, maybe GFE checks ped here, having the book?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Hey, there's an ether medallion that we really don't care about. But yeah, book and mirror is absolutely worth his time to check ped. Because honestly, if you check it and it turns out to be those boots, you don't even bother with Turtle Rock. You go do Hera, you go do Hera, you go finish up Swamp, you grab those boots, and you have a much faster Turtle Rock. It's probably not going to be enough, but it would be the way to go.
Yeah, Gomo TR is only slightly faster, honestly.
Yeah, there are a few key layouts that are a little bit better than others, but yeah, it's not very much faster. Also, love that the Dark Link bunny sprite is regular Link.
I'm partial to the Geno bunny sprite as the Scarecrow. If he really cutting it close there on that moth fight, down to 1 heart, but gets the job done. GFE is going at least in for this item under the bridge. Really has to check it at this point, but we are getting some interesting thoughts in chat about, you know, do we see a ped check here? I think there's a chance at this, but yeah.
I think you do. Here's some mad quick swapping. Yeah, there is that mirror.
And we still haven't seen boots in TR yet.
It's a red boomerang. And there's the boots. As we see the ped check, we get the boots in Turtle Rock. In the big chest. Ironically, so, the strat where you check the big chest before Mimic Cave would have worked out here. You don't see that very often.
And that does mean that Buane is in go mode at just shy of about 132.50, so...
Yeah, it's a pretty big lead now. He's about half a Turtle Rock. Actually, probably about a full Turtle Rock since GFE has to still get there in the first place.
Yeah, and Buane has the small keys, so doesn't even need to do Laser Bridge at all at this point. That was a nice key layout, actually, for TR.
That was a great key layout. I mean, GFE will get the same key layout, but there won't be a way for him to gain time.
And there's really nothing we could ever want at this point. We know where all of our safeties are. I think we've seen all 4 bottles. We know where powder is.
Yeah, GFE has the powder that Buane does not. I mean, that shouldn't matter to Buane. If he's worried about that, he could buy potions, but I don't think he will be. I mean, heck, in an NMG run, you don't have half magic, and you're basically otherwise in the same loadout, so...
Nice backdoor strats there for Buane on the first phase of Trinex. Unfortunately, Trinex still did give that little head poke there. But great phase 2 to take down Trinex with that double spin and a slash, so...
Yeah, so the big thing that happened here, that it was really unfortunate to GFE, he did get that Bombos sitting there in Skullwoods a lot earlier than Buane did, which led him to Ice Palace, which also let him end up getting him to dip Meyer before going into Pod Eastern. Buane really didn't have other good choices at that point, and went into Pod Eastern, got his cane to make it a better Ice Palace, and to make Meyer just a single dip, since that bomb was also required to go into Meyer. So it's just a classic case of sometimes getting the item early isn't as good as getting it later.
Yeah, and really, you know, GFE made some really smart plays here. You know, going after that book really seemed like a great idea. Unfortunately, it just was a couple of extra items that kind of sent him other places.
Yep.
Book leading him to the Bombos tablet, which was powder, but Magic Bat was nothing.
Yep. We'll have to go get the small key to get the big key in Desert, but not going to check anything else. But yeah, GFE last location the boot's a little bit harder than Buane did. But he knows at this point they're gonna be here. It's just literally nothing else.
Well, the worry for him could have been, is it in Swamp still?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So not quite last location. He did leave 2 items in Swamp. Alright, we're gonna go finish off this desert. And Buane's gonna have to go up the mountain again. Which gotta be like 5 times, or 4 or 5 times at this point.
Yeah, this will be his
If he
5th.
gets his boots.
Because Buane went without the mitts, then
Yep.
again for Dark Death Mountain, then again for... Oh wait, was it? No, this might be
Yeah, I think it's only 4. But
4, yeah.
I'm not sure that only applies there, so.
Yeah, no, that's not ever a good feeling. But that is crystal number 7 for Buane here now at 137.45. Buane is going to be heading up Death Mountain one more time, this time for Ganon's Tower, and of course, gotta find that GT Big Key. Unfortunately, still no bot available for this, but 1 to 22, where's it gonna be?
Okay, I like the person that thinks that he's going to bet Tile Room as the 3rd check. I don't see that happening. I mean, it doesn't feel, the C doesn't feel good, but I mean, if I were playing, I would have to feel like I routed this as well as it could be routed. Like,
exactly.
Not a whole lot. Yeah.
You got to think, like, there's no way my opponent Galaxy brained this seed that well.
Like, literally, the only thing, if I were to, go back with a spoiler log and try to run the seed, the only thing I could think of that I might have done differently is do Eastern before Pod, because of where the bow was. But other than that, GFE having a lot more trouble. And again, because he went to Swamp Palace, got that Bombos, and just let him to places that didn't have anything, and led him to a longer ice palace and a double dip of mire.
Yeah, this is definitely even a spoiler seed where you would have a really tough time of trying to
You would
get a great route. You know, you look at spoiler races and most people will say, oh yeah, you know, good spoiler, I can get it done in about an hour or less. And this one could be really hard pressed.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
your big advantage is just being able to, you know, get early swords, but
yeah,
those boots are super late. And
that never feels good.
yeah, the piece by piece nature, you found your way through. Yeah.
The seed was very what I like to call breadcrumby. Just let one little breadcrumb leading to the next throughout the entire time.
Yeah, and I don't think we've had a lot of seeds in this tournament, let alone, you know, we're talking, what, 500 or more races at this point?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we had a not hitting GT to almost the hour 40 mark?
Oh, yeah. That's late.
Yeah. I mean, I think the qualifiers were almost all done in like an hour 15. Mm-hmm. So.
It sure felt like some of them. It's always someone that figured it out quickly, right? Okay, we're gonna do Dark Magician strats. Yes, we're gonna go mirror out, go back to the right side, and we'll hit number 6 and 7 here. Number 7.
So that
could have been number 2.
That would have been an ideal hope room, by the way.
I mean, that's what the hope room is about. Why we call it that is because you hope the big key is there.
It was the perfect one. We had a small and the big in that hope room. And yeah, at this point, Buane is just, this is, you know, normal for him. He's just better equipped than normal for this kind of run.
Yeah, he's got half magic. That's, and he's got a fire shield, so, you know. That Landmo 2 fight. Have something to fend off those fireballs. And I know he's got potions of some sort, I just don't know what.
I think we saw blue at one point. I think he still has did he use the green?
He used a green to do pod. But he also got a red in pod.
Right, because that was our vanilla big key chest.
Yep. All right, Landmo 2 time.
Ooh.
Misses a shot there.
Yeah. I thought he had hit it in that mess of explosions, but unfortunately it looks like he just missed it.
Yeah, sure looks that way. Actually, it looked like he hit it, but you could didn't hear the sound go off, so was kind of the clue that he hadn't. Chat rightly pointing out that we had Landmos on the same time there. Or slightly off.
Meanwhile, GFE finishing up his 7th crystal, so now heading back up the mountain for GT. But I'm guessing at this point, by the time GFE gets into GT, Buane should probably be on just about Agatsu.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, JF may be able to save a little bit of time if he goes straight to Hope Room. But not nearly enough. Not sure what Buane was hoping to get there, but, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, in a non-hard mode, you might hope for that 4th piece of heart to give you a refill, and you don't have powder to do it for you. But he's at 14. There's no more hearts to be picked up.
Yeah, no powder. Well, could have gotten powder.
Yeah, to his mind, it could have been powder. That'd be the last place where powder would be useful. If you've ever gotten powder in the post-Boldorm chest, it's like, well, can't really do anything with this now.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised that even at the end of a seed, the patterns for Aga 2 aren't going to be that great either, right?
Of course not.
But Buane's doing pretty well with these.
And just one more hit. There it is. Unfortunately, GFE also going to go left side first.
Yeah, given how much these runners, probably have gotten a siege of each other leading into these matches, maybe this could be strategizing on what you expect your opponent to do.
Mm-hmm. All right, Buane into the Ganon fight.
Fortunately, Ganon not giving us the ideal spot for phase 2, but still a good spot. We're going to get those dash strats with the extra sword swings.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and pop that red.
Yeah, and I did see Buane does have a blue, so plenty of safety to finish this fight out.
It's the early spin. That torch glitch. Like, I didn't see the flame go out. There's no way I could do that. It is harder with the fire rod, too, in general.
Yeah, very practiced skill there.
Yeah, he knew exactly when to fire that fire rod shot. That's got to be the NMG experience.
Yeah, just going for mostly the consistent doubles here. Unfortunately, Ganon has not given us great spots for triples. Which, as we're saying, Buane does know how to do that very consistently. So unfortunately, really, this is just Ganon not cooperating. I say that as he finishes the fight with
two
a
triples.
triple.
Actually had 2 in a row there at the end, so very nicely done from Buane. And he'll cross that bridge with an official race time of 1:47:03. GG's to Buane. And GFB is going to most likely go ahead and just finish this out. He told us before the race that he doesn't really have enough screen space to keep race time up, so would only check it if he really felt like he was doing badly. And there were definitely things in the seed, but he also knows that that this was a trolley seed for both runners, so there's no reason for him to feel like he's super, super far behind. And he's not. I mean, he's gonna finish within a few minutes.
Yeah, and realistically, you just want to, sometimes you just want to get through one of these and just be like, okay, let's, keep the time in. You put in enough to get to this point in the seed.
Yeah, and we do have Buane joining us.
Hello, thank you, GG's. That was fun.
That's one way of putting
it. You say that, but I don't hear the excitement that comes with fun.
Little F. It was actually a really interesting seed, just so slow. Just so slow.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the worst thing ever. The seeds that are really terrible are the ones that just have the one thing you needed to do, and this had like 3 or 4 things you needed to go do.
Mm-hmm. It really did.
It was pretty interesting. There were some cool decision points and decision trees, just really slow.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much whatever you did, you were going slow. There wasn't a fast
late boots.
Yeah, 93 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was to the point where, I mean, we knew the mirror had to show up at some point because of where that book was and need desert access of some sort. But and it's like, okay, the mirror has to be, it was made so much sense that the mirror was going to be on that pyramid fairy check because nothing else opened as much. And then it's like, okay, I've got all these things open.
Yeah, luckily, because it was really seeming like the next thing that's showing up is mirror, you did have a lot of time to kind of plan out, what am I doing when mirror does show up inevitably in the next couple checks. So at least it wasn't one of those things like, hey, now you have a bunch of things open, and what are you going to do first, and what are you going to do last? And the book up there on the island is kind of sitting there in the back of your mind, and you're kind of saying, there's no way I'm doing that until like last. When I go and get the book, if it comes to that and I check either tablet, do I go back to Hera Basement or wherever the second item was in Hera? So like those things start kicking around in your mind. But I mean, honestly, when we got the mirror, I think we were still missing like 3 more items. At least I was.
You were missing both rods, Quake, and boots, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there's 4 items left. So it's like you kind of don't feel bad about any of the mirror stuff you go check first. So that's why I went straight into Swamp, because it's like, all right, I'm missing 4 items. Chances of one of them being in here pretty good.
Yeah.
I got Fire Rod, which basically unlocked 1 check, so I kind of felt like I had to stay and check the whole thing. Kind of wish maybe I had left side or something like that, but it was pretty hard to make that call at that point since everything left was like just 1 check.
Yeah.
So the way it worked out, this is sometimes slow and steady is good enough, and I guess that was the case in this one. It sounds like me and GFE, we talked a little bit post race. It sounds like we had actually very, very, very different paths through this.
Yeah, so GFE got caught by getting Bombos at Skullwoods very early.
Yeah, that was very late for me.
Which meant he got the Bombos before Kane, so it led to a much slower Ice Palace, which, as you know, had nothing. And it led him to dip into Mire without the Kane, which also had nothing.
Yeah, really.
Whereas you were like, yeah, I'm gonna go do Pod Eastern because, like, what else am I gonna do? Because I can't go into Mire, I can't go into Ice, so...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't that upset seeing Bombos there, because I knew that had the potential to be really bad, depending how the rest of the items laid out. Really bad for GFE, obviously. Sometimes it just comes down to a sequencing thing like that. Like, you get an item early, you're going to need that item, great, but look how much time you waste having got it early. I mean, it's just luck of the draw.
Everything GFE did made total sense for what he had.
Oh, yeah,
and everything
absolutely.
you did made total sense for what you had, so... Like, there was no bad routing here. It's just, rando be rando. Just, we're unlucky sometimes.
And meanwhile, GFE just taking down Ganon and about to cross that bridge to finish this one out.
Yep, finishing with official race time of 1:52.06, and we'll see if he'll join us as well. And welcome in, GFE.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if you were listening to what we were already talking about, but yeah, it just came down to really that Bombos just making a huge difference.
Yeah, I caught the very end of that. The extra Mire dip and the caneless ice. That's a lot of that time right there.
That really is.
Mind you, from the sound of it, I'm sure I gained a lot of time back post-mirror, because I was like, I am so far behind, we can't afford to clear the rest of Swamp.
Yep, good call.
Yeah, the skipping of Swamp, I think partly balanced out, though, also with you actually playing it safe, getting that book, and finding powder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I went and turned that in real quick. I am glad of one thing in this seat, though. I got to finally show chat why you always check the TR big chest first when you're 1 item from go mode.
Yeah, I talked about that when Buane got there, and he didn't do that. And like, oh, hey, that would have actually worked out this time.
I
missed that you did it though, so I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't.
I want to find my go mode in Mimic Cave. That's what I want to do. Like that's the goal there. I can't skip it.
Honestly, part of the reason, I mean, I usually do that anyway. The reason I definitely didn't seed was we got a small key out of the chest, so there was a lot lower chance it was a small key in the chest.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, as far as key layouts for Turtle Rock, it's not a bad one. I mean, you got to get your item and skip Laser Bridge. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, that's for sure. Although it would have been nice to have boots about, I don't know, 90 minutes sooner.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, you were just blessed with all the swords really early and all that health.
Oh my god. You guys are maxed out at health by
It's a healthy speed.
Yeah. What
early.
hard mode? Like Tempered Sword and 11 hearts. Get into the Dark World.
I don't know. I tried to make it look like truly hard mode. I was gave myself a heart attack on my block. It's probably a pixel from death with 2 potions in my pocket.
I had to chug a potion on Ganon because I realized at the last second that I was gonna get rando fire bats and I was on 4 hearts, so it was definitely one of those seeds where you don't think that the gap is very big either direction. Like I might win this by a minute or 2, I might lose this by a minute or 2, but I'm not 15 minutes ahead here, so it's not. You try not to, it takes how many seconds to drink the potion, like it's gonna take me 5-6 seconds. That actually could make a difference, but
dying makes a bigger difference.
Yeah, it's I actually like that. I do kind of wish there were a couple tweaks to the hard mode to make it a little more consistently hard. Like seeds like this, there's so much health that's still in the pool. You're gonna get to 10 plus hearts and the same point you're gonna get to. But that green mail, it really makes a difference.
That green mail is the biggest thing in hard mode, in my opinion.
We've seen a lot, and I've caught a lot of races, and in also the races that I've played in, and me personally, it's making a lot of boss fights. You're usually very, very, very safe on all these boss fights, including Ganon. I've seen a lot of Ganon things in the tournament too, where just people are having trouble with Ganon because you usually in random you get to Ganon with 17 hearts and red mail,
and
who cares if I take a couple hits? And it is interesting playing it with like some real danger in a lot of places. So it's been a lot of fun. I've liked the hard mode. We get Blue Cane start, which I hate. So that's the balance out here. Of course the seed is terrible like this.
I mean,
as far
game 1. Where it was pure NMG.
Yeah, exactly. This was the opposite.
As far as the Blue Cane started, you had a nice bit of bomb drops. So,
and I
believe Marine chest had bombs.
Yeah, that's always nice. Don't have to farm too much because you're not going to get much farming done anyway. Like you don't have enough magic to farm too much. So it took some pity on us, but we had a very interesting NMG light escape in the first game, which after GFE was saying, hey, the only thing I don't want is this to be like NMG, and that's like the first 3 chests are like, here's your NMG items for escape.
Can you blame him, Buane? I mean, aren't you like playing in another tournament?
Hey, look, he didn't want it to be NMG. It was very NMG, and he won soundly. So, like, maybe he just
maybe we need the last seed to be NMG.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say maybe you just need that NMG start.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm seeing the pattern.
Yeah.
So what's? Yeah, go ahead.
This seed was just a mess overall. Like Wayne was saying, you don't expect when the seed's been like this that you're too far ahead or behind, but honestly, with how everything went before Mirror, I was feeling pretty bad, especially against someone like Buane, where you're probably stuck full clear in this anyway, so it's all about execution. But then after Mirror, I feel like I made a lot of the right decisions, with a few exceptions, like going to dip TR and turning in powder. But choosing to leave Swamp, I was like, okay, maybe I've made up enough time. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that Bombos difference seems to have been a lot of the difference in the seed.
Yeah, you're leaving Swamp made a lot more sense than when GFE did it, because by the time you got there, we were pretty certain, I think, at that point. Well, we knew there was nothing else in Swamp, so the only thing left was Ped and Turtle Rock. And ironically, you checked the pedestal at the same time as Buane picked up those boots. So, right at the same time. So it's kind of the moment of truth. Which one is it going to be? And it just turned out not to be in your favor. But
Sorry, chat. I did not desire to walk back to both Argus and Moldorms.
no, of course not. But yeah, so game 3. Do you guys have that scheduled yet?
No, we were going to cross this bridge when we came to it, so I guess we'll have to have a quick chat offline and figure out when it's going to work. Our schedules seem pretty compatible, so I'm sure it'll be the next couple days.
Yeah.
And it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. It was a fun race to call, and definitely your first race was a fun one to watch. So looking forward to seeing you guys play game 3.
Yeah, like all you
Appreciate
want
it.
out of this is just play against a good player and have some fun, some close races, have a good time. So that's what we're getting out of this one. Anybody you would play at the tournament at this stage is going to be a top player. So
Yep.
There's no shame in losing. You don't have to feel like, oh man, I totally should have won against this guy. No, like these are the cream of the crop. So
Absolutely.
it's real fun to get a game 3. Like just playing this game rando with stakes. You're looking over at the race room. At least I am, like every screen in GT. Like you feel that adrenaline. Like, did I lose yet? Did I lose that? Am I gonna win? Like, who knows? It's just a lot of fun. Like you know, it's fun. That's why we play it.
Yeah. I did definitely open up my room after I finished. I think it was Moth, just to check, and I was like, well, he's not done yet. Maybe there's a chance. But I'll echo what Wayne said, and despite this just being, basically standard with a few extra difficulties, the seeds it's been throwing out during these bracket matches, most of them have been very complex, should we say. So a lot of interesting stuff going on. Fun to watch races that end up close. I mean, this one wasn't super close, but considering everything that happened, still definitely an interesting match. So looking forward to game 3. We'll see what happens. I'll try to clown my way to victory as always.
All right. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to add before we start closing this out?
Just thank you guys for the commentary as always. Glad to see Jesse back in the commentary booth here, Radical Sniper. So always good to have him there. And
Absolutely.
Thanks to Link Force for the tracking.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody behind the scenes making this thing go. Everybody in chat. Should be a fun one to listen back to, and catch everybody on the next one.
All right. But yeah, so that will pretty much do it for us. No more matches tonight. It's almost the end of the day anyway. So, but the next one is at 1:10 tomorrow. We have Shady Force versus Wall Kicks. That's game 1. That'll be over on Speed Gaming 5. We have P Train versus 1UP. That'll be at 4:10 over on the main Speed Gaming channel. And over on the ALTTP Randomizer channel, at 6 o'clock, we have In the Name of DT versus Gamachu. So yeah, we're starting to get down to some really nice, good names playing in the round of 32. Definitely looking forward to all 3 of those matches, and I hope you all will check them out as well. That'll pretty much do it for us. If you're not already following these runners, please do so. Those are their Twitches in the chat right there. And of course, always want to thank everybody involved. Link Force on the tracker, doing the hard work behind the scenes. Can't say enough about our trackers. I consider them the MVPs of our tournament. And of course, Radical Sniper for joining me on commentary. It's always fun. Glad to have you with us.
It was a pleasure.
And I'll let you close this out.
Yep. So thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Hope to see you for the next races. As always, yeah, as you've heard so many times, we are getting deep in this tournament, and with how deep the community is, but this has been a great race, and hopefully we'll see you for game 3 whenever that gets scheduled over the next week, and all those extra races tomorrow, and pretty much every day for the next month still. So Until then, have a great night, and we'll see you next time.